So do you know the different attachment styles?
I do.
Do you know which one you are?
I am an avoidant.
Madison. Let's talk about it.
My name is V and welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to do a deep dive into Alex and Madison's relationship because to me, this was the ultimate power play and just a masterclass in emotional chess. So let's get started. At first, their relationship seemed like a promising match. I mean, they were both confident, charismatic, and really into each other's intensity. However, we also saw that early on, they were very much trauma bonding and that the relationship was just not built on stability, but an emotional game of chess, which was really intense and it was really interesting to see. Now, guys, let's just talk about their power dynamics for a bit. Now, straight away, Alex positioned himself as the one in control, just like saying certain things to test Madison's emotional reaction and in return, keeping her on edge. Now, this is not just a gut feeling, guys. This is a classic move on power, on like relationship power move or power play. Now, Alex knew exactly what he was doing and he did it anyway to keep her coming back for more. This is a classic, I repeat, this is a classic relationship power play. Now, one of the biggest red flags in this relationship was the constant pushing and pulling. Now, if you noticed, Alex would do this a lot. He would pull Madison in with real deep and emotional conversation that would just be stimulating. And then he would push her away at the same time with like really cold and like logical reasoning. Now, this is the perfect way to get someone hooked. And we saw this time and time again, especially when they like, after they made up again, we saw that it started well. They were joking after she gave him the teddy bear and they were joking. The conversation like turned into light conversation. Then all of a sudden he's decided that, you know what, let's have a deep conversation over here. And then all of a sudden it started again with the pulling her in with the just deep emotional conversation. And then all of a sudden pushing her away because no, you're just too much for me. Madison, on the other hand, reacted to this dynamic by just basically trauma dumping. She was constantly oversharing about her past traumatic situation with just the dynamic between her mother and her stepfather and their struggles with drugs and alcohol, which was just information overload of all the negative things that happened to her and how affected her in her childhood. Now, not to judge anybody here, but this is how unresolved issues and trauma plays out in relationships. And you could clearly see it from both ends for both of them that this was just not a healthy situation. And instead of them building a healthy connection, they built a connection based on past traumas instead of compatibility, which just did not work out in the end.
Maybe a little bit of a trigger for me because past relationships, I dealt with that, but like on the extreme end of it.
Yeah.
I'm more anxious. I feel like I'm not good enough. And so I want you to show me that, yes, you care about me and that you are not abandoning me.
So I want to take a second to actually just talk about the attachment styles. Now, I do remember Alex saying that he was more the anxious one and Madison being more the avoidant one. But in the pods, I think it's quite funny because they actually displayed quite the opposite of each other. Because if you really see it, in the pods, Alex displayed a more avoidant personality or avoidant behavior. And because he was more cold and just basically intellectualizing everything. While Madison, on the other hand, was the one who was actually seeking deeper connection with him and trying to actually like get reassurance on the relationship, which is, if you really think about it, it was quite interesting. Now, when we mixed these two together, we saw that we got a mess, a disaster, just a disastrous mess. So I thought that was really interesting. I don't know what you guys think about that, but I question that a little bit because they really displayed each other's, behavior pattern. So what do you guys think? Now, if we actually really think about this, the more Madison tried to actually seek closeness to Alex, the more Alex pulled away. And the more Alex pulled away, the more Madison wanted that assurance that this relationship is actually going to happen. Now, this just kept fueling the relationship until it just imploded and ended. We zoom out a little bit and actually just focus on the bigger picture here. When everything was said and done, was this a real breakup or was it a final power move on Alex's side? Because if we analyze that breakup a little bit, especially from Alex's side and how he handled it, he was cold, calm, collected, and almost detached to the whole situation, which to me, it seems as if he detached himself a long time ago from this. I don't think that this was a real connection for him. I think that he understood what he was doing and that he had no intentions on going any deeper with her or having any sort of relationship with her. And if you actually compare that to how Madison reacted to the breakup, she was destroyed, she was emotional, and you could see that she was still invested in that relationship. Which comes back to the question, was this a power play? Was this just a chess game of emotions? Or was this a real connection on both ends? At the end of the day, both Alex and Madison were just the perfect storm of a combination of just trauma, emotional baggage, and just power struggles, which is a good reminder that love is not about intense passion. It's about emotional safety. And I hope that people remember that. Now, with that being said, I would really like to hear from you guys. Do you guys think that Alex was just playing a game? Or do you think that Madison was the villain here and that she was just way too much? Please don't forget to like this and subscribe by supporting my channel. And I cannot wait to see you guys in the next one.